like, oh no, I thought it was too good to be true, and it was too good to be true. Good morning, folks. It's another day on the homestead, and we hightailed it down here. I ended up with a day I didn't have to work on Friday, so we thought we'd make a long weekend out of it and hop down here. Now, part of that plan was when we were out here last, I knew the folks that were out here had a Windstream telephone, so I called up Windstream and I said, is there any possibility that you could do internet out there? And they said, oh, heck yeah, we can do 100 meg internet to the house. I was amazed. So the problem is that Windstream installs only happen during the week, so we had to make sure they were out here during a weekday. So had this extra day off and thought we would rush on out here and get some internet installed because could be down here on a Friday. And so we went through these big, massive storms that were rolling through central Missouri yesterday as we came down here. Probably about 4 hours of driving through a lot of heavy rain. But we got down here last night, kind of made a little makeshift spot in the house here to sleep at, and got up this morning. Our install is supposed to be at 8 o'clock, and our installer gave us a call. Asked us to clarify where we were at, and told him, and he said, oh, well, they only get phone out there. We can't run internet out to that spot. I'm like, oh no, I thought it was too good to be true, and it was too good to be true. So, gonna have to figure out a plan B. Actually, I was kind of I guess back to plan A, because there's some decent cell service in the area, so I think we'll have to set up some sort of internet that way. The Windstream thing came as a shock, and I was amazed, and was very hopeful, and just had my hopes dashed maybe about half an hour ago. So kind of our weekend plans for what we're gonna do out here have changed a whole bunch. So at this point in time, we did manage to pick up a new awesome thing, is a new washer and dryer. We ended up getting a couple of them that are on the cheaper side, but have to unload those and get those hooked up this weekend. It'll be nice to be able to do laundry out here. That'll be about I'll show you a picture where we slept at. Really, inside right now, our living area consists of a mattress and some camp chairs. That's really what we got going on right now. And that's not bad. I've actually been in situations where I've lived with a lot less than that, and that would seem kind of posh. But yeah, it's kind of a big change from where we're at normally. So try to get that washer and dryer in there, because it's one of those things that it's a funny thing. Wherever we go somewhere, Kate really likes to do laundry. So when we travel, it's kind of one of the first things that she scopes out is what the laundry situation is, and she likes to do laundry while we're places. I think it makes her feel kind of comfortable and in control of the situation and able to do what she wants to do. So, and the plus side is we don't necessarily need to travel with a bunch of clothes because we always got clean stuff. So it's pretty awesome for me. It works out really well for me. So I think what I'm going to do today is we'll go do a little bit of a walk around. Now, out to the shop out there where the store is at, I think we'll go do maybe a little walk around to the store. You can barely see the dumpster that we filled up right there. We'll go take a closer look at that. And then I'll take you on a walk around the store and show you what kind of condition that's in, and maybe get some suggestions from you on where to go. All right. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of walk around of the store that we've got here. So you can see there's this eave overhang here. You could possibly fit a smaller car in here maybe to come do pickups. It looks like at one point in time, back in this area over here, they carved out like a garage door, and there's a little bit of a lift underneath there. I believe they were possibly bringing a motorcycle inside to work on it or something like that. Right now that's all tightened up and screwed up, so nobody can get in there right now. Probably need to fix that part of the wall. If you look at the top here, it's just kind of your old, I believe that's tin roofing on there. Covers the whole thing. There's a main building, and then it juts out a little bit on both sides. So let's see here. If we hop around to the side here, you can see back here, got our dumpster full of stuff, trying to clean that out. We've got an entrance over here on the side, and then there's this kind of like storage area that's over on the side here. Now I'm going to need to fix the door that's on there. So we walk down here, just a little storage area back in here. There's some shelves, and I've cleaned most of it out in here. There was lots of kind of broken pieces and parts in here that I got rid of, old cans and things like that. But it's got like 3 sets of shelves back here on the side. It's got another set of shelves running on the inside over here. Should be able to get that cleaned up and in good shape. There's some wiring in here for lighting, but I have no idea what kind of shape that's in, so I'll need to figure that out. There's a switch in there. There's a switch that goes to a bulb, and when I look at it, it looks like it goes to the power cord that goes over here is then cut off, and it's just the wires at the end. So somebody was doing some rewiring, and it's not fully rewired, I guess, maybe partially rewired, but gonna take a little bit of work to get this back and going. Just need to get the hinges on the door here, get some screws in there, and then get the door back on. I'm not sure. I think they must have had it swinging this way. The funny thing is I don't see any hinge holes on the side over here. I don't see any on the side over there, so I'm not exactly sure how they had that hooked up, but shouldn't be too tough to get hooked up myself. All right, so we'll take a walk in the store here. There's a nice hanging cord right there. Yeah. So we got this big glass door on the store. I think this is going to have to go because it's broken and it's not really on there right. It's a nice door. It's pretty heavy duty, but the glass pane down here at the bottom's shattered, all like in the corner down here, and it's pretty old and heavy. So probably needs to come out of here. I'm going to guess that replacing the glass, it would be just easier to replace the door than it's going to be to replace the glass. So let's go in here. Oh. All right. I'm going into the store. Now, as we're in the store, let me swing back around here because I talked about there was a garage door that was right here that folded out. So I believe that's screwed in at this point in time, so it's not going to be moving. Probably need to replace that with just straight up wall. Reside that in. They've got this kind of, I don't know if we can see that, there's like this checkerboard flooring down here right inside the door. Then other than that, it's just wood flooring that's in here right now. So one of the cool things is they got this awesome potbelly or stove in here. So let me walk over to this way. Take a look at this stove. It's beautiful. So I'm kind of interested in getting that up and running and seeing what we can get out of that. But I think that's how they warmed it in here. There's a old table. We've got a refrigerator. There's a stove in here. There's some cabinetry that's in here. Most of the fronts of everything. Well, let's see here. These aren't actual cabinets, these were shelves that were built in. So take a look at it, it's just boards across the front, and then they put a countertop across it. So not actual cabinets as base cabinets. The sink works, it does not have hot water, it's just cold water in here. And the cabinets up on the side. Haven't tried, there's a AC unit that's up here on the side, and I'm getting used to doing the whole camera thing. Yeah, there we go. So there's an AC unit up there. Haven't tried it, so I don't know whether it works or not. That will be a fun thing to figure out this summer. Looks like the roofing material, we just had a big rain, so I'm looking around in here to see if I see any water spots, and I see just one. We've got a little bit of water. It's kind of back in the corner over this way. There's a little water spot on the ground over here, but other than that, I don't see any water spots. Now, there's some previous water damage in here, and I think our flooring in this main area is all wood, and I don't know that there's a subfloor underneath this. I'm gonna have to get underneath here and look, but that's something to check out too. All right, so back in this area over here, there's a little tiny bathroom. There's a toilet there, which is back in the corner, kind of over this way. Let's see, and it doesn't have running water right now, so I believe they were potentially just dumping buckets in the top of it, and I need to figure out where that's flowing to, because we've got lagoon septic for the house, and I don't see anything that this flows to, so I'm not exactly sure where it's emptying out at. The sink back in there works too. They've got a cabinet, and it looks like they have screwed a larger countertop, because the cabinet's probably, what is that? Maybe a 36-inch cabinet, I'm guessing 36 inches. But there's a countertop that's like a 4-foot countertop, and then there's screws in the front of the countertop that screw the sink top to the cabinet back there. So that needs to be addressed. Also, the floor in there is really mushy, so I'm not sure if that's water damage or there's not good support underneath there. Gonna need to get underneath the building and take a look and figure out what's going on there. So yeah, lots of fun work to be done there. All right, I did leave us a couple of things on the wall over here. Let's see here, can I get the camera to do that? Yeah, back on the wall over here. We've got, looks like a little bit of an old fork. Some kind of interesting wood. There's a feather over there, and I think that is the end of what was a scythe. I think that's what this is over here. There's this wood piece on the wall right here, and I'm guessing that was part of a scythe. I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me if I'm right on that guess or not, but that's kind of cool. I mean, there's just bunches of old weird stuff out here. So the last thing to look at is there's a little bit of a side room. So there was some storage on the side. There's a door back here. And it's dark. Not sure if, let me see if I can find a light switch really fast. Oh, there's a little bit of light in here. All right, so I'm gonna bring you in here. It's just kind of a storage area back in here. So nothing all that exciting, but another area to store stuff. So we can have the store and then this side area. And you can't see it, but if you go straight up here, it's just the straight tin up there for the roof. There's no sort of insulation underneath there or barrier, so it's just all coming straight down off of here. And if I look at the sides of the walls that are in here, it's that asphalt shingle stuff, so it looks like this was added on. And looking up at the beams in the ceiling here, it does look like this was added on later and just tacked to the outside of the house and ran over, because those don't actually go into the structure. It's all sitting on a wooden beam that's on the outside of the structure and tacked into that. So they have done a bunch of. It looks like they tried to fill in all the gaps with foam and stuff to make it a little bit more airtight. Yeah, we'll just have to see what we can do with that. I've got it's kind of like a wainscoting in here where there's wood about halfway up. Right, and the 1x6s I think they got running all around the front of it right here. Then there's another door that goes out the back here, and a little porch out here. So this porch, we'll do a walk around the outside, but I think this porch needs to be rebuilt. It's well weathered. We'll say that. And actually, I'm looking around in here, and I just noticed there's another treasure hanging on the wall here. So there's looks like a stick with an end on it, and let's see if I can get that in the shot there. It says hillbilly putter on the end of it. So there we go. Yet another amazing find here in the house. Also, I've just noticed that on the end of this pull chain, there's looks like a screwdriver metal piece that's on the end of the pull chain. So all these hidden treasures, it's pretty awesome. So, all right, so I'm gonna walk you back out of here. We'll go back around the outside a little bit. Floor is kind of creaky and a little bit wavy. So be interesting to see what happens when we get underneath here. Do need to map out what all of these switches are because I don't know what all turns on what. We've got a couple of sets of fluorescent lights, which obviously I just turned out. And then I've got another switch that I don't know what it goes to. So, you know, learning. Exciting. All right. Come back outside here. We'll walk right back around a little bit. So, God, it smells amazing out here. It's great. All right, so we're back to the front over here of the building. And let's see here. There's some hummingbird feeders up there, and there's some traffic. There's some hummingbird feeders that are sitting right at the top up there. So maybe we can fill those up and make use of those. My getting down here and having this nice weather and having hummingbirds would be an amazing thing. So we'll see if we can get some of those. So looking back at the side here, I mean, all of this, now actually the siding looks like it's in fairly good shape. When I get down towards the bottom, it's a little bit beat up, but I would say in general, most of the siding looks pretty good. So it's siding, and then you've got some painted metal down at the bottom, and just like the bottom bit of the boards of the siding that's just down here at the end is looking pretty rough, but for the most part it's in good condition. What I will say though is that the porch that's over here is not in good condition. It definitely needs some work. I don't know how many years old that is, but it's going to probably need to be pulled off and replaced. With all of the things going on, I don't know if that's high priority, but it is one of those things that will need to happen. Now, going to walk around a little bit over here towards the back so you can see the back side. Again, it's got a lot of that paneling on the back, or that asphalt shingle on the back, and you can see it looks like more 1x6, possibly 1x8. Those kind of some unfinished wood in there. We've got some damage down towards the bottom in there. There is that AC unit that I'm not sure on its shape, and you see electricity running in there. And then it makes it really obvious when you're out here. You can see it's just the tin, and there's no sort of structure underneath the tin as it goes on the wings of the building and not down the front. You can also see it looks like the electrical was previously way over on the corner over here. They kind of, now it's more up towards the main house because there's a little insulator on the side over there also. There is this really nice lamp right here, street light, which provides a lot of light at night. It's really, actually I'm pretty happy that we've got that those kick out the light at night when we get here. Let's see, other things to think about. I do see there's some cinder block construction underneath there, but it's not, as you can see, it's not cinder blocks up all the way, so it's not a solid wall. Looks like there's some piers in there that they've got going on. There's not really easy access to all of that. There's a piece of tin that's over here that looks like it can be removed, but that's not going to get me underneath the main body of the building. So we'll have to figure out how to get that kind of access going. I'm not real sure. What other things do I want to note here? There's a hole there that looks like there was a pipe of some sort there. I've got a spigot. There was a faucet I thought I saw on the outside of the building. Where'd it go? There's one right there, faucet on the outside of the building. Now the other thing is I talked about there's water running in there, but I don't see, like we don't back past this. There's no sort of lagoon or anything, so I have no idea where that's going to, which is kind of interesting. We're on, this is unincorporated land, so it used to be a city, I think, and then, you know, as is in a lot of these places, most of the people have moved away, and I don't think there's no post office, and there's no population to support it, so I need to figure out where that water runs to. I just don't know right now. So some great mysteries and some great challenges to figure out here. So let's walk around a little bit more towards the other side of the shop, just so you can see that piece of it. And it's pretty much here. Like I was saying, it was raining pretty hard last night. So let me flip back around here. Oop, I hit a good mushy spot. We're back over to where the dumpster is and the other side of the shop there. And I'll step out a little ways there. You can see, I think from here you can see the stovepipe up at the top and the tin that's there on the roof. You can see you've got a pretty good angle, and I think that's where it's built up, and there's some I don't know what you would call it, some gap between the roof and the interior roof. I don't think that there's a whole lot of insulation in there. Another thing to be addressed, but so I don't know, where do you guys think you would start at on this project here? I'm not exactly sure. There's a lot of stuff to be done. I'm not sure where to go. I think where I want to start at is in the bathroom in there. See what we can figure out about the plumbing, and the floor in there is really mushy. See what we can do about, probably need to rip the subfloor out, bring some new in, put it in there, make sure we're good and solid. Another thing I would like to address fairly short term is the back of the building. I'd like to get maybe some metal on there or some siding on there because it's deteriorating in parts. I also need to make sure we've got some access to get underneath the building, because we're going to need to do some work underneath there, just to get all that handled. So I don't know, where would you guys start at? Would you try to go after the bathroom first, or would you look more at the electrical, the doors type thing, work on the floor? I don't know. What's your opinion? Let me know in the comments, or send me an email. Let me know where you think you would start at. So I don't know. All in all, it's nice to have a building that's not doing a lot of leaking, without a ton of stuff in it, and it's got possibilities. So there's places we can go with that. In our future happy state, that's a shop where Kate can sell some goods from. Maybe I can sell some goods from too. So we'll see if we get there. It would be nice, I think, to be able to do that in this area, because we're pretty far away from other stuff, and it served that purpose at one point in time. It would be nice to get it to serve that purpose again. So thus far, it's been a pretty slow day as far as getting things done out here. It's been a really nice rainy day, so it's one of the things that I was hoping to see while we were out here is what our creek out and back here does once the rain starts flowing. So normally it's maybe like a foot across. With a little hop, I can get across the creek. But out over here right now, it's probably, we'll say 15 to 20 feet across. The water's spread out after we've gotten all of this rain. And down on the other side, it's stayed a little bit closer in, but the water's flowing a whole lot better. So rain's not great for getting stuff done outside, but it has been really helpful for me to see just what the land is doing here. Well, all the rain kind of comes out and runs through it. So we have this pipe that runs through the ground, and the water was pooling up in front of it for a while, and then it takes it on out towards the back of the house back here. And it was pooling up really good, and we ended up running to town for a little bit. When we ran to town and came back, it's all busted through at this point in time. So the pressure must have built up behind that enough that whatever was in there got shoved on through and cleaned on out, because the little pond that was kind of forming in front of it doesn't exist there anymore. So right now Kate's back in the house cleaning it up. She's got the kitchen needs a lot of cleaning. She's been working on that. We don't have a whole lot in there yet, so make it easier to move around. It's going to get a lot more messy to try to do those things when we start bringing some stuff out here. But right now she's got pretty good access to everything, and I need to get back to the washer and dryer install that I was working on. So ran into a bit of a problem where the prongs for the plug that I've got don't fit the outlet for the dryer, so that's part of why we ended up running to town. So I gotta try to get that one worked out. The other one is the fuse box isn't labeled very well in there. So the house was previously a trailer, and there's things in the fuse box that are labeled like central air, and it's got no central air right now. It looks like they ripped all of that out. It's actually got 3 propane heaters in it right now, which is something I think we're going to need to change before it gets to winter. So anyway, the fuse box is not labeled right, and messing with electricity is not one of my favorite things, but I'm going to need to get in there and do a little bit of that in order to get this dryer working. So that's next on the list there. Try to get the dryer going. Kate got some good fish while we're in town, so it'll be a nice Friday evening meal, and might sit out on our porch out here and drink a little bit of bourbon in the evening. We'll have to see how that goes. So hopefully we can get some stuff accomplished inside on this rainy day, and then we'll just have to plan for outside stuff on another day.